welcome to Spain, first of
Thanks.
all.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
Have been these days so easy with the fans, or?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's really busy. There's a lot of people. The going and getting a coffee is like an hour-long mission, but it's all good. It's great to see everyone. It's awesome.
You spend more than an hour from going to a place to another?
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Last night we went to dinner. I was meeting Joe Abercrombie up the street, and it took me about an hour and a half to get there. But that's a good problem to have. Yeah, it's awesome to see everybody. Yeah,
in every country, not only here in Spain, right?
I mean, I've never been to a festival like this before. You guys kind of do it in a different way. The festivals that we have in Australia are a little more like a Comic Con, so they're kind of a big market, like a big shop. Whereas this feels a little more organic and a little bit more alive. So yeah, it's an awesome festival. It's really great to be here.
Okay. Your stories are often dark, intense, and brutal. What draws you to explore the grittier side of fantasy and sci-fi?
I was always kind of attracted to those stories. The stories that I liked most as a kid were the stories that made me scared to turn the page, because I was afraid of what was going to jump out at me or what was going to happen to the characters that I cared about.
And with a lot of blood also.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be risk, there needs to be conflict. Me as a reader or a viewer, I need to feel afraid for the characters that I care about in order to care about them more. I'm sure the whole world remembers what it was like watching Ned Stark getting beheaded, and
yeah, that's the point.
You kind of squint at the screen and say, wait, no, that's not supposed to happen. Like every story you've been raised on up to that point tells you that the hero makes it through to the end, and all of a sudden
it happens all in fantasy and sci-fi, because you write both genres.
Yeah, I'm not doing sci-fi so much anymore. The sci-fi was mostly my young adult stuff, and I'm focusing more on the adult side of things now. But yeah, sci-fi was fun for a lot of years. But yeah, I like stories with conflict. I like stories that make you afraid.
But you can adultify sci-fi.
I mean, I could. I'm maybe not smart enough to write adult sci-fi. Adult sci-fi tends to be kind of more technically proficient than my writing tends to be. My young adult science fiction strayed more towards the Star Trek, Star Wars type of fantasy in space almost. Whereas a lot of the successful sci-fi for adults these days tends to be pretty high-tech and high-spec.
Yeah, and
I'm
physics.
Not smart enough.
A lot of physics,
I'm not
right?
smart enough for that. I did not have a physics degree, so
Okay.
I did an arts course. So yeah, I'm not a scientist.
No problem. No matter the genre, your books always feel like Jay Kristoff. It's like a level. What do you think is the common thread that ties all your stories together?
The golden rule that I have for writing is that victory needs to come with a cost. You need to pay a price to win. Stories that don't involve some form of sacrifice for me are boring.
Yeah.
The story I use to illustrate this is Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, because everyone has seen those films. Like at the end of Star Wars, Luke just closes his eyes and pulls the trigger and blows up the Death Star, and everyone goes home happy. Whereas at the end of Empire Strikes Back, he finds out that his father is the most villainous man in the galaxy. He gets his hand cut off. He loses his best friend to a bounty hunter, and he suffers a defeat. But the defeat that he suffers at the end of Empire makes the victory that he wins in Return of the Jedi that much more profound. So that's the golden rule in anything that I write too. People need to pay a price for victory.
And bad endings also.
Yeah, sometimes.
You don't like happy endings at all.
They can't be completely happy, no. Like I say, but I think that ties in with the price paid for victory. People need to lose something of themselves. It's kind of the classic Joseph Campbell hero's journey. The hero can never really go home because he has changed on his journey, and when he gets back, home is not the same. So yeah, that's really important to me. And I think that's a theme that kind of travels through all of my books.
Because you love make us cry at the end of the books.
I do like making people cry. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
It's a strange
I really
thing.
appreciate it.
It's a strange thing to take pleasure in, but the idea that a character that I wrote or a story that I made up can make you feel so much that you're crying or angry or laughing, that means I did my job. So I take that as a huge compliment. A lot of fans send me pictures of themselves crying.
And how do you feel about it?
I feel like I did my job. I feel like I did a good job. Yeah.
Well, your fans are passionate, and I'm one of them also. What's been the wildest experience that you have with a reader? the wildest one, or most heartwarming?
I mean, I've had a bunch of amazing heartwarming stories. Yeah, I got a letter the other day from a reader who told me that she discovered the Empire books in the middle of COVID. She's kind of in the middle of a lockdown and in a really dark place in her life, and those books kind of helped get her through. So yeah, it's even though I'm telling dark stories, I think there's a kind of thread of light and hope that runs through all the stories that I do tell, and some people kind of gravitate to that. So yeah, I've had a couple of amazing experiences meeting fans in real life at conventions like this, where they tell me about a moment in time where the books that I wrote intersected with their lives and made their lives better. And that, yeah, that's extraordinary. That's about as close to magic as you can get. I think
It is. It
the
is.
idea that the story that I wrote, halfway across the world, traveled to a country that maybe I've never even visited in a language that I don't even speak,
And can change
and
lives.
still, made a difference to someone's day. That's extraordinary to me. So that's honestly the best part of my job. The idea, you don't want to let it go to your head and think that you are changing people's lives or anything, but
you do.
maybe just touching someone's life and making their day a little bit better, their load a little bit lighter. That's awesome to me.
So good. If you had to write a final book, your last story ever, what would be it about? Fantasy, right?
I think fantasy, yeah. Fantasy was kind of my first love. They were the books that I fell in love with the most and first, and you kind of never forget your first love, I don't think. So it would be a fantasy novel. I don't know what it would be. I would have to think about that. If I knew it was going to be the last book that I was ever going to write, I'd probably try and make it a little more profound than I usually do, but
to make it last for generations.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think the idea of legacy and trying to outlast, trying to endure, I think that's something of an asymptote. It's like chasing a rainbow. I don't really think about that when I write. I don't care what people are going to think of me 100 years from now, because I'll be dead. I won't care. It doesn't matter. And in 50,000 or 500,000
But I feel your
years,
books will be the classic, the fantasy classic in the future.
Oh, that's lovely of you to say. Thanks. It'd be cool if they go on and people find them years from now. Like, it's still amazing to me that people are discovering the Nevernight books now. They've been out almost 10 years. So the idea that those books would have lasted even 10 years is extraordinary to me. But I try not to let myself fall into that trap. I try to write the best stories that I can, a story that means something to me, and hopefully other people can find meaning in it as well. But the idea of building a legacy or outlasting this mate, that's a little like chasing a rainbow. It's a little like sitting around thinking about what you'll do if you win the lottery one day.
Yeah.
It might be a fun game, but you don't want to spend too much time on it.
Will we watch your stories on movies or series?
Maybe one day. Yeah, we've sold the rights for a couple of the works, but selling the rights is kind of the first step on a very long hurdle track. So yeah, hopefully one day, but again, I try not to spend too much time thinking about that. It's like thinking about what happens when you win the lottery. I just kind of keep my head down and keep writing the books, and what happens.
Yeah. Okay, you've written both solo and in collaboration.
Yeah.
How does your creative process change when you're writing with someone else?
It's obviously more collaborative. You have someone there to kind of bounce ideas off. When you're writing by yourself, you're kind of trapped inside your head sometimes, sitting in a room alone, talking to people who only exist inside your mind. Whereas if you're writing with someone else, you can just bounce ideas back and forth. So it's a lot more energetic. Idea generation tends to be faster, just because you've got another brain, and two brains working on any problem will halve the workload.
But you prefer to write solo?
It depends. Working on the collaboration books with Amy was a lot of fun. She's still one of my best friends. She's awesome. But yeah, it's a different experience. And Amy wants to stay in the YA space, and I've kind of moved into the adult space. And Amy tends to be more an optimistic person than me, and I tend to tell darker stories. So, but yeah, in terms of the work process, you get two heads for the price of one. and you kind of get immediate feedback. That's the awesome thing. Like when you're working by yourself, sometimes it'll be 6 months before you have anything that's worth showing to a beta reader. Whereas if you're sending work back and forth each and every day, you're kind of getting immediate feedback. So it's a lot more energetic and kind of vibrant as a process. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a bit like being married. If you marry the right person, then it's great. If you marry the wrong person, it's terrible. Co-author is the same. Like if you're writing a book with someone that you get along with and who makes your writing better, then it's awesome. I imagine if you were working with someone who was kind of dragging you down, it would be like being trapped in a bad marriage. So yeah, choose your co-authors carefully.
Yeah. We write solo.
Oh, you guys write together.
Yeah, and together.
Okay. Have you ever had a big fight, like an argument about what should happen next?
Never.
Yeah, okay.
We've only written once. Yeah.
Nice.
Which is correctly. Well, let's play a quick game.
Okay.
It's called Spoil Me the Ending.
All right.
I give you 3 words, and you have to imagine a story based of them,
All right.
and tell me how it would end. Only the ending, in your style.
Okay.
Okay. The words are ash, sword, and mercy.
And I'm going to tell you the whole story or how it ends?
Only the ending.
On the spot in front of a camera. Ash, sword, and mercy. I mean, it's a little bit like Empire of the Vampire. There's a sword in Empire of the Vampire called Ash Drinker. So
it is.
Yeah.
All death.
Yeah. I mean, let's say the main hero's name is Ash. He has gone in search of the sword of mercy in order to use it to avenge himself against his father's killer. But he finds out that forgiving his father's killer is the ultimate act of mercy. How about we do that?
Happy ending.
Doesn't need the sword.
Happy ending.
The sword was inside him all along.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, thank you so much, Jay, and it's been an honor talking to you.
No problem. It was great to speak to you. Thanks. Ciao.